Making the Invisible Visible, Black Women 365 Days of the Year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
So I'm Mel Pennant. I'm a writer and playwright. I'm drawn to stories that live just beneath the surface, the memories that people carry, the histories that shape us, and the truths that often are felt before they are spoken. My work is rooted in listening, observation, and care. I'm interested in voice, inheritance, identity, and the quiet power of ordinary lives. As a writer, I see my role as making a space for the complexity of life, for stories that hold tenderness, resilience, humour, contradiction and change. So in motion, my work begins with just simply noticing and observing. It can be a sentence that I've overheard, a remembered image, a question that just won't leave me alone. I spend time gathering those fragments. Sometimes I don't know exactly what their importance or significance is. Day to day, I'm exploring how language can hold both beauty and difficulty without kind of flattening either. What matters to me most, I suppose, is honesty and ensuring that I can try and capture that with as much sense of the reality as possible, and ensuring that the emotional truth comes through. Writing in a way that kind of honours the idea, the people, the experiences that I am exploring. So my grandmothers have had a profound effect on me. They helped raise me from a very young child. I have just become more aware and conscious of the imprint, the absolute imprint that they've had on me throughout my life and to where I'm at now. Both were amazing women, both came from the Windrush generation. And, you know, amongst that generation came to a country they'd not been to before, came and created lives and did more than that. They crafted their lives, you know, for family. And I really honour them and honour what they have given me, the gifts and privileges that they have provided to me, and you know just how amazing they were. So yeah, they are my heroes. So I think as a writer, at first glance, people often see the finished word or the finished play, but not what goes behind that. And, you know, some of the uncertainty, sometimes some of the musings, and, you know, that can take a long time really to get to the finished product. But it's, you know, the exploration that goes behind it, as I said, the observance, you know, the really interesting space when you're just trying to get an idea and really transmit and transform that and make it form a part of the page. So that's approaching everything with a curiosity, often with open questions. You know, why am I so interested in this? What is it that is really affecting me, and why do I want to discover that more? People may not know that when they read the finished words or see the finished play. So I really try to firstly understand what small wins are, and sometimes they're not obvious, but it might just be a connection. It might just be a sentence that lands. It might just be the satisfaction of having written and you know got onto the page everything that I was feeling internally. But sometimes we forget those small wins and we don't acknowledge them for what they are. So I think for me, it's firstly an acknowledgement of what a small, and it could even be a big win is. I also think that it's really important to sometimes celebrate those things that don't feel like wins. You know, I've had a number of situations where, you know, I might have had a disappointment. I might have, you know, been rejected for something. And at that time, it feels enormous. But actually, some of those have been the best moments of my life because they've either solidified where I want to go. I really want this thing. I didn't like how I felt then, and I'm really going to go for it. Or simply, I acknowledge that that wasn't for me and it's not for me. I don't want it enough. And so even through those moments of kind of real angst, you can get so much from them. And I think that has really helped to build up me as a person and my career. And then in terms of celebrating it, for me, returning to the page is my happy place. So if I'm returning to my desk, if I'm entering into that space, sometimes it's really difficult. Sometimes you don't quite know what you want to write, or you can't quite transmit what you have onto the page. But showing up every day, writing every day, or as often as I can, is how I celebrate my wins.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.